Okay, here be I, beloveds. Astarius, Miraculii, a little bit later than the 3:05 that I announced, and I am honoring that the timing is perfect and all is well in the kingdom of this sacred moment. So today's subject is New Moon Ascension. You know, we are in this frequency of the new moon today, new moon at 23 degrees of Pisces, meaning that the sun and the moon are exactly conjunct at 23 degrees of Pisces. This is a particularly powerful new moon in that Neptune, which is the ruling planet of Pisces, is at 20 degrees of Pisces. So Neptune, that rules Pisces, is very closely conjunct this new moon, which brings in an energy of transcendence. Both Neptune and Pisces represents the frequency that transcends. So the highest resonance of Neptune and Pisces is tied into the frequency of the ascension. Pisces is an energy of solitude. And there's been a lot of solitude going on the planet, particularly since this world initiation called COVID-19. You know, we have been experiencing the energy of being pressed back upon ourselves, you know, having to engage in a greater measure of solitude, a greater measure of diving, going deep sea diving into the ocean of our own selfhood. With this new moon in Pisces, conjunct Neptune, and also Venus. Venus being in the mix is a reflection of where it is that we find some pleasure. So there's going to be a greater measure of pleasure that we will feel in the solitudinous journey that we're on. There is an absoluteness of beingness relative to Neptune and Pisces. It is a resonance of the oneness of the wholeness. It is a resonance of the omnipresence. So with Venus in the mix, we are able to up-level our love for the omnipresence. We will be able to up-level our love for that resonance of our own self that is totally in alignment with the oneness of the wholeness, with the omnipresence. This frequency enables us to come into a greater awareness of the reality that we are our own version of the universe. We are our own version of God, Goddess, Absolute. And so this new moon is a catalyst that facilitates a expanded embracement of the reality that we are our own version of the universe, our own version of God, Goddess, Absolute. That we, as our individual being, are a very unique gift unto Creator Source that is unduplicatable. That which you are in honor of Creator Source, and that which you are as a gift to Creator Source cannot be duplicated. There's no one that can do the universe exactly like you. And there's no one that can offer the gift of selfhood unto Creator Source in the same way that you can. So in this frequency of the new moon in Pisces, we have the opportunity to experience the up-leveling of our gratitude for the gift that we are to the wholeness of life, the gift that we are unto Creator Source, elevating and expanding self-esteem, elevating and expanding self-appreciation. The other energy that we have, or the other energies that are available through this new moon in Pisces, conjunct Neptune, conjunct Venus, is the opportunity to perform the marriage of diverse dimensionality, the marriage of the third dimensional reality with the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and beyond dimensions of reality. We have the opportunity to perform the dimensional marriage, meaning that the veils are very thin. The frequency of Pisces and Neptune is a great resonance of formlessness. And so we are able to have an expanded relationship with formlessness. Formless is cause and creator. Form is effect and created. In the human experience, we have gotten enamored by form and effect. And we call things real when we can see it and touch it and taste it and smell it. You know, when it has concrete reality, we say it's real now. But the form stage of reality is the second stage of reality, whereas formless is the first stage of reality and even the greater measure of reality. And the resonance of Pisces and Neptune is all about formlessness. And so we have the opportunity to experience the up-leveling of our appreciation for the formless reality of our being, who we are in spirit, who we are as a microcosmic expression of God, Goddess Absolute. Reminds me of a poem that I wrote called The Great Femifestation. And in it I say, the great femifestation, the womb of creation, the primordial cause of all manifestations. Manifestation, the second coming of reality, is born of emotion in its totality. Thoughts and feelings create all forms, and blessings thrive before they are born. So, through great prior appreciation, flood your life with manifestations. The great femifestation is eternal, a never-ending formless stream of life. If manifestation is your only thrill, you're in the grips of fear and strife. Forms will come and forms will go. This is a truth that we all know, and all things of time and space at some point will be erased. Faith is the substance of all desires, the evidence of that which is not seen. So celebrate the unseen goodness, and all the riches of form are then yours to redeem. When the miracles of your life are still sleeping in the void, skyrocket your gratitude and they come leaping from the void. You are pregnant with every blessing that will ever come to be, embryos within your soul, though human eyes have yet to see. So see with the eye of mind and heart into infinite realms of the great unseen. Choose wonderful feelings without concrete reasons, and all the riches of the kingdom are now yours to redeem. The great femifestation, the womb of creation, the primordial cause of all manifestations. Another thing that we get to look at in this new moon in Pisces is the empathicness of our being, our capacity to feel the energies of other people as if it is our own. And those of us who are very empathic know this experience of sometimes feeling negative and downward energies from another and getting sucked into that downward spiral. But those of us who are empaths, we want to say when we come in contact with negative energy that doesn't feel good to us and doesn't originate within our individual being, if it ain't divine, it ain't mine. Only what's divine is truly mine. So we get to experience what are some of the gifts of being an empath. When we are empathic, one of the gifts is that we have the power to pick and choose what it is that we want to be empathically impressed upon by. We don't have to just be randomly sucked into unpleasant negative vibrations. When that happens, we want to do a disclaimer. And we want to pick and choose what we want. Like, I want to be empathically impressed upon by all of this energy of abundance and all of this feeling of the joyousness of abundance. I want to be empathically impressed upon by all of this energy of ascension frequency, all of this energy of love and compassion, all of this energy of self-love and self-appreciation. And everywhere we see a being that is in exaltation, then we claim that. Oh my God, what a wonderful experience I'm having through that part of me. I link up the telepathic battery cables, my heart mind to their heart mind. I initiate the soul jumpstart. I jumpstart myself individually, and I become that reality that I'm celebrating and observing. We personalize every exalted vibration that we come in contact with. That's one of the powers of the empath. We can pick and choose what we want to be empathically impressed upon by. Also, the empaths are the greatest healers because the fact that we are able to so easily feel the emotional transmissions that come into our field, it also means that when we transmit frequency, it lands in a very powerful, emotional, and transformational way for others. So our capacity to bring about the alchemy and the transformation is very strongly there. Also, the empath has the capacity to express a great measure of compassion. As the empath, we want to trade in sacrifice for compassion. When we sacrifice, they win, we lose. When we're compassionate, it's always win-win because compassion is a wisdom that will never allow us to hurt ourselves while giving to another. Compassion shows us how to give equally unto ourselves while giving to another or giving to others. Another frequency available to us through the new moon in Pisces is the frequency of art and music and creative expression. So if there's been something that you've been wanting to create, something that you've been wanting to birth forth, this is a wonderful time to put forth the energy into that because the new moon is always about new beginnings. Another energy that is feeding into this new moon in Pisces is the planet Pluto, which is in Capricorn, and it's making what is called a sextile to this new moon. And a sextile is a very friendly relationship exchange of frequency between the planets. So Pluto is very positively and sacredly feeding into this new moon. Pluto is death, regeneration, and transformation. It is alchemy. So we have the capacity for a greater expression of alchemy to transform poison into potion, to transform darkness into light, to transform pain into bliss, to transform the chaos of our world into a new age, a golden age culture. There is also a great power of visualization and imagination with the frequency of Pisces and Neptune. So that which we imagine, to imagine or imagination, is to image within. I image inward, to see from within because everything starts within. Here we are in my form over here, you in your form over there, and yet it is formlessness that brought us together because it was the formless desire, the formless intention to circle in here together. Formless always creates form. This is a great something that this frequency of new moon in Pisces is bringing forward for us. The energy of Pisces and Neptune is also tremendously powerful from a premise of healing, as is the planet Pluto, a strong frequency of healing. And so we have the capacity to heal in ways that we have never healed before. There is also a tremendous resonance of receivership and receptivity. So we have the capacity to expand the power of our receivership and receptivity, so that we have a greater spaciousness within our heart, a greater spaciousness within our mind, within our soul, to receive the blessings that life has to offer. And because the frequency of Pisces and Neptune ties into the oneness of the wholeness, then we can tap into the all-dimensionality of blessedness, the omnipresent all-dimensionality of blessings. Just like this moment is a moment of blessing, it is a moment of the sacred expression of spiritual teachings, which reaches out to empower every other moment of spiritual teachings, and in turn be empowered by every other moment of spiritual teachings. The oneness of the wholeness of the spiritual teachings, the oneness of the wholeness of being, the oneness of the wholeness of abundance. Feel, beloved, the presence of the angels, the presence of God. God is absolute. The presence of the entire ascended host. Pluto is death, regeneration, and transformation. And here we have the opportunity to experience the joy of death. Like, what are the areas of our life that needs to die? What are the personality traits that needs to die away? See, there is joyousness and blissfulness in that. The joy of death, the death of the old, and the alchemy, the transforming of the poison into potion. Those tones offered as a frequency for the transmutation of any and all dark energies associated with these times. Thank you, beloved, for remembering who you are, remembering where you're from, what you're for, that you're divine, what was lost, you have now found. I offer now the frequency of the didgeridoo to seal this vibration and to transmit all of the sonic frequency that is in harmonic convergence with all of the verbal information that I just gave you. So everything that I just verbally spoke, I'm now going to transmit in sonic resonance through the didgeridoo. Thank you, beloved Creator, God Goddess, and beloved angels, for presencing with us, co-creating with us. Thank you, all of you beloveds, for co-creating with me. Thank you for remembering who you are, remembering where you're from, what you're for, that you're divine. Thank you for knowing that you make a monumental impact upon the expansion of life. Life is better by virtue of you. Thank you for allowing that truth to create a skyrocketing and an up-leveling of your self-esteem through the roof of the cosmos. Thank you for knowing that you are bigger than any trial and tribulation, and that there is no trial or tribulation that will ever outlast you. Thank you for remembering at the cellular level that you are unfolding down the corridors of forever, and you extend all the way back from the beginningless beginning. Thank you for knowing that you're your own version of Godhood, your own version of the universe that is unduplicatable. Let your self-esteem skyrocket by virtue of the fact that you are an immeasurable, unique, and unduplicatable gift unto Creator Source. Thank you for allowing your creative ability to come forward and to create as abundantly as you are meant to create. Thank you for knowing that you are cellular co-creator of all that is created, and that you have a hand in every wonderful creation in the whole of existence, because you exist as a cellular counterpart within every being, everywhere, and every when. Thank you for owning the joy of being at one with every creative expression and every expression of any good deed. Thank you for coming home to the absoluteness of yourself. I am Astarius Miraculii. I love you so much. Be sure and experience my website. I have a great number of musical albums and a couple of books. I was playing from 2 of my albums, from Fly My Winged Love, actually 3, Fly My Winged Love, and then the album Deep Space Meditation, as well as the album DNA Ascension. Many of the albums I use binaural beats in, so they're very powerful for taking you down into the central core. If you love what it is that I'm doing here, I really thank you so much in advance for partaking of my creations. I also have 2 books available there. And thank you so much for your donations of appreciation. Many of you have been very generous in giving donations, which I receive graciously by Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, as well as a donation button on my website. You know, I also practice and teach Reiki, available for psychic astrology readings and intuitive astrological psychic readings, along with transmissions of sound frequency with didgeridoo, vocal harmonics, located here in the Red Rocks of Sedona. Thank you for offering your comments. And if this has moved you and touched you in a deep way, then send it forward to as many people as you can, because when you do that, then your own personal blessing will become multiplied. So those are my commercials. Aho, Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep. In Lakesh, Alakin, Shalom, Satnam, Hariom, Rastafari. Your sacred juices are cooked and infinitely expanding. Juicefari, Blissfari. You're going to always have many miles on your smile, wiggle in your giggle, tingling in your boots, and laughter ever after, putt in your strut, wings on your butt, because you're definitely rising up at the top. There's room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all. And so it is, and so it shall eternally be. Wow.